Today I am bringing you a drugstore makeup tag. This makeup tag was originally created by Jen Phelps. She recently did a little redo of it. I guess she had done it years before, and she just did it again recently to see if any of her answers had changed. If you don't know who Jen Phelps is, she is an amazing creator here on YouTube, a very large creator here on YouTube. I love her content. She likes to do dupe videos and mostly drugstore reviews, although she does do some high-end makeup too. So I will have her video in the description box below, as well as a link to her channel, so you can go check her out if you haven't already. I thought it would be a lot of fun to do with you guys. I'll have all the questions in the description box below. I would love to see you do this makeup tag too, and tag me in it, tag Jen in it. I want to see your answers, or just put your answers down in the comments. Tell me your answers to these questions. So if you like makeup tags and you like just talking about makeup in general, then stick around. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. Question number 1. If you could use only one drugstore brand, what would it be? That is pretty easy for me. It would be e.l.f. I think as far as drugstore brands go, I use more products from e.l.f. than I do any other drugstore brand. I'm trying to think if there's anything by e.l.f. I don't 100% love their eyeshadow formula, but everything else I think I've tried and I really like, even their skincare. So if it was one brand that I could only use for the rest of my life, it would be e.l.f. Question number 2, what is the most underrated makeup brand? For me, it is Wet n Wild. I think Wet n Wild is highly underrated. Yes, they have products that have gone viral and that people talk about, but there's so many things from their brand that I love. Guys, we're having a storm right now. It is really thundering. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's really thundering. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love thunderstorms. Okay, most overrated brand, I think, is NYX. There's a lot from NYX that I don't like. I do like their liners, their eyeliners, the Epic Wear liners, their Line Loud lip liners. I think they're pretty good, but they're not my favorite in the world. I do like them, but I don't love them. I can't think of anything from NYX other than their Bare With Me concealer. That, for me, is a really good concealer, but I think NYX is kind of overrated. I'm just saying. I don't like any of their foundations. I don't love any of their primers. I've tried the marshmallow one, and I've tried the one that's in the yellow. I can't even remember what it is. It's supposed to have skincare properties in it. I did not like either one of those at all. I don't like their foundation. I don't like their powders. Like, there's a lot from NYX that I don't like. So I'm going to say that overrated is NYX. Don't come at me. What is your favorite product under $5? This was a no-brainer. I didn't even have to think about it. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow Sticks. I have 4 of them right here. I have the bronzer, which is actually, it says contour, but it is actually a bronzer. And I have the lightest shade, which is Oaks on You. And I usually only use this in the summer because it is a very warm bronzer. But these are like at Ulta, these are $4.49, and it looks like at Walmart they're $3.98. So they might even be below $4 and not just $5. But then I have 3 of the Mega Glow blush sticks. I have Peach Bums, which is beautiful. This is actually a dupe of one of the Charlotte Tilbury. They're very glowy blushes, but I do love a glowy blush. I usually use them as blush toppers, and this one is called Dusty Pink. I just recently got this. And then there's one called Floral Majesty. And I love all of them. I do apply them with a brush. There's the Floral Majesty. They're just so pretty. This one is a little bit less glowy, I think, but they're beautiful. Their highlighter sticks are also Very, very beautiful. But yeah, I apply these with a blush. I'm actually wearing this one today. I apply them with a brush. I just take my brush. I'm not going to touch it because this is not the brush I usually use for that. I just grabbed one. But I do that and then I put it on my face. I love these things. These are freaking fantastic. Highly, highly 10 out of 10 recommend them. What is a hidden gem that no one talks about? You guys, I have two. I have two. And if you've been with me for a while, you've seen me use both of these all the time, constant repurchases. The first one is the Maybelline Lash Stiletto Mascara. Nobody talks about this. I never see anyone using it. It has the best brush. It is a long and skinny brush. I use this usually for my first two coats of mascara. I do love to layer mascara, but if I am not going like full glam one day or whatever, I will just do a couple coats of this. And even if I'm not wearing makeup, I still do a couple coats of this. It lengthens, it separates. It is such a great mascara. I hope they never discontinue this. I will be very, very sad. There for a while it was hard to find, but now I can find it, Ulta's website, and I love it. The other one, because I said there was two, the other one is the Revolution Pore Blur. Now this is all worn off. Nobody talks about this. This is one of the best blurring primers, pore blurring primers that I have ever used, and I have used a ton. And my biggest complaint is that when it says pore blurring, it's usually mattifying. But when it says pore blurring, I expect it to blur my pores. And most of the time they don't. This does. I use this every time I do makeup, and I'm looking and I can see through it, and I can see that it's down to here. And that makes me panic because I cannot be without this. I thought that I could. I bought a couple other pore blurring primers, and I don't love them near as much. So I had to repurchase this a while back. I will be repurchasing again. I will never be without this. Never. Favorite drugstore foundation. One is a no-brainer, and then the other one I thought of later. Now, I don't have this one in my collection right now, but it is the Wet n Wild Dewy, Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. It is such an amazing foundation. I don't like the matte as much, but because I have dry skin. But the Dewy, if you can get past the smell and the delivery system, it has this little paddle, which is really odd to me. But it is such a great foundation. But my other holy grail is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I really want to try the hydrating one. I have not yet bought that. I said I was trying to work through my foundations before I bought new, but then I bought like 7 of them within the last year, so I don't know. But this is the Camo CC Cream in the shade 280W. Now I do have to cool this down because a warm does not work for me. But I usually will buy several shades of this, like 3 different shades of this. One for dead of winter, one for spring and fall, and then one for summer. This is my summer one. For me, it is very close to the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, which is one of my holy grails as well. But that's not drugstore, and this is. What drugstore product do you buy more than you buy high-end? Liners, eyeliners, and lip liners. For me, there's no reason to go pay $32 for a lip liner when there are so many amazing drugstore options. The ColourPop lippy pencils, the Sephora lip liners are so good, and when you can get them when they have them 30% off, they're so inexpensive. Like I said, NYX liners are good. They're not amazing, but they are good. The Revlon Color Stay Black Retractable Liner, love that. Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Liner, love that. That is super cheap. There are so many great liners. One of my favorite drugstore lip liners, other than the ColourPop lippy pencils, are the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Liners. They don't have a huge color range, but the ones that they have, I love them, and I think that they are so good for mature lips. I have some lip lines, and it doesn't travel, it doesn't go into my lip lines, it doesn't feather. I think that those liners are amazing. and I will always repurchase them. What is a drugstore item that is overpriced? Drugstore mascara. Drugstore mascara is just so ridiculous. There are a few times a year where Ulta will have high-end mascaras 50% off. The Anastasia that I like so much. There's a Stila that I love. The Benefit Bad Gal Bang. When you can get those and they are less than a drugstore, full price drugstore mascara, then there's a problem. There's a problem because drugstore mascara doesn't need to be $17, $18. It's ridiculous. So yes, way overpriced. The next question is, what is a good drugstore dupe? I was going to bust out the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands because everybody knows those are a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury wands that they have, or that she has. But something that I discovered about a year ago is this dupe. I love the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. Now, if you're new here, I have rehomed all of my putty blushes and bronzers in this tin because they're easier to get in with a brush. But this is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. And this is the Anastasia of Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer in the shade Amber. I love both of these so much, but they are really good dupes. I will swatch them for you. So this is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. And this is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. They are so very similar. So if you're looking for a good dupe for this, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer, it's this. Now, I do have to say, there is a ton of product in this ABH Cream Bronzer. A ton of product in here. And there's not as much in the e.l.f., but as far as performance and as far as the difference in price, this is a great dupe. It really is. Next question is, what is the best drugstore eyeshadow formula? To me, it is ColourPop. ColourPop is still considered a drugstore brand. You can get them in the drugstore. They're on the drugstore side of Ulta. You can get them at Target. ColourPop is a drugstore brand. And I think of all the drugstore eyeshadow formulas, I think that ColourPop has the best. Followed up by Morphe. I do love Morphe's eyeshadow formula. I know not everybody does, but I do. I think it's a great eyeshadow formula, and when Ulta has Morphe palettes on sale, you can get them very inexpensively. The next question is, what is the worst eyeshadow formula from the drugstore? I think, and this, I thought about this for so long, because no, Maybelline does not have great eyeshadow. CoverGirl does not have great eyeshadow. I think that Revolution, and it's so weird. And the reason that I'm picking them over Maybelline and CoverGirl is because I expect more from them. I do have a couple of Revolution palettes that are pretty good. The Batman palette, their original Batman palette is a great formula. But then you buy some of they're so inconsistent, and that makes me mad. Also, that company is sitting on the BH formula and they're not releasing it. Like, how are you sitting on the BH formula? How do you own the BH Cosmetics formula and you're not making palettes with that? If they made a series of palettes, say 4 palettes of different color stories, and they said BH by Revolution, or if they said on that palette that that was the BH formula and it was indeed the BH formula, they would sell out because so many of us miss that BH formula. It was so good and so inexpensive, and I'm mad at them for that. I am so mad at them. How are you sitting on this formula and not using it? Did they buy it so that no one else could have it and then decide to not do something with it? I don't know. But let me know in the comments. Are you mad at them for sitting on that damn formula? Because there's no reason for it. Make us some palettes with that good BH formula, please. The BH baked formula, the regular BH eyeshadow formula. I don't care. Just make me a palette. Make me a palette that I love. I'm salty, you guys. I'm still salty about it. I am. The next question is a brand that you used to love but are no longer crazy about. Revolution. I used to love Revolution. First of all, I didn't know any better. I didn't know that there were all these other brands out there with all these amazing formulas. And it's before Andi, and well, before I was introduced to Andi, which I love so much. But Revolution is so, like I just said with the last question, they're so inconsistent. How are you going to have this, like my Batman palette? It is such a great formula. I have a Marilyn Monroe palette, which is the Revolution Pro. You know, they had the Pro, they had the I Heart Revolution, they had all these different little subsets of companies underneath their company. And yes, the better ones were more expensive, but they were still pretty affordable. But I bought the Batman palette, I bought the Marilyn Monroe palette. They're both really great, but overall, I don't like their formula. It's just so inconsistent. I know that they've had really great palettes in the past. I know that the new, what are they, iconic palettes, especially the one that is supposedly the Patrick Ta dupe, I know people love that. People think it's amazing. Why can't they be consistent? Just be consistent. That's all I care about. Either be all bad or be all good. There's no in between. Stop being inconsistent. A product that you didn't expect to like, but wowed you. As boring as concealer is, it's the NYX Born This Way. No, Bear With Me, the NYX Bear With Me concealer. I bought this and then I didn't use it because I was having a hate relationship with concealers. I stopped using concealers altogether because I had used a couple and my eyes looked dry and crinkly, and with my already dry skin in the winter, I didn't want anything to add to that. So I began using just like it was the e.l.f. Putty Color Corrector, and that's all I was using. But I had this sitting in my drawer, afraid to use it, afraid I would hate it. And one of my friends, Dawn that watches my videos, said, it's one of my favorites, use it. So I brought it out and I used it. And if you can see, it's almost gone. There's a couple more pumps in this and it's gone. I did not expect to love this concealer so much. I will repurchase this concealer. Wowed. I was wowed by it. It makes my under eyes look so like moisturized, and it doesn't emphasize my wrinkles. It doesn't emphasize my lines. Like, no, it was really good. Thank you, Dawn. Again, I know I've already thanked you, but thank you again, because I was writing them off. I was writing off all concealer, and it's really good. And then finally, the last question. What is your favorite affordable eyeshadow palette right now? Now, as we've already established, ColourPop is a drugstore brand. Are the mega palettes actually affordable? I mean, you're getting 32 eyeshadows. Are they 32? 30 eyeshadow pans for like $32. The best time to get them is during their 30% off sale. And then they're like mid-20s, right? So I'm going to say that yes, ColourPop is still considered an affordable palette, and come on. I mean, everybody that knows me knows that this is my favorite eyeshadow palette, period, but also favorite affordable eyeshadow palette. Oh, it is the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox. I didn't tell you that. I was just gushing over it. Gushing. And I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't seen it, here it is. Here she is. Can you see the pans? Can you see the pans in there? I have used the absolute heck out of this palette the last 5 years that I've had it. I think I've had it around 5 years. It's just so good. The formula is so good. The shimmers are beautiful. I just love it. It's my favorite. I do have an honorable mention, you guys. I do. The Morphe 9V. That is the Vintage Rose. It is now in pink packaging. It is not in this black packaging. I got this from a friend, Lori Latimer sent this to me, and it is absolutely beautiful. And if you can see the dips, I don't know if you can see how well loved this palette is, but it is beautiful. Also, it's kind of a dupe for the Natasha Denona Mini Rose. I'm just saying. I recently did an eye look with this on my channel, and I talked about the way that it was very, very similar to the, I think that's the video I said that, I think, the Natasha Denona Mini Rose. Ulta just had their 9 pans on sale for like $9 and something. They were like $9.06 or $9.08 or something. They just had them on sale. So they do put them on sale, and even by themselves, like even not on sale, they're very affordable palettes. And I think that this is such a beautiful formula. Final answer, ColourPop Stone Cold Fox, Morphe 9B. So let me know in the comments what you thought of my answers. Did I get them wrong? And let me know what your answers are to these questions. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.